When a car's been around for as long as the Ford Fiesta has, that tells you something. Firstly, that it's popular. Secondly, that we car buyers like its style. And thirdly, that it's good to drive. Well, at least it is now. You couldn't honestly say that about the very early Ford Fiestas. Remember, the first Fiesta came out back in 1977, the Queen's Silver Jubilee and all that, which means, if my sums are correct, makes 25 years old. Happy birthday! Now, there are thousands and thousands of used Fiestas out there on the market to buy, literally from just a couple of £100 through to something like this for around £4 grand. So, if a used Fiesta fits the bill for you, what do you need to know before you attempt to buy one used? Set yourself a price range and try and stick to it. There are very few early cars around these days, and to be honest, if you find one, they're more likely to be more trouble than they're worth, so avoid them. Look for cars from 1995 onwards like the shape, or you could go for one of the later 1999 cars onwards. Those had a slight revision, slightly more angular headlights, what Ford calls its new edge design styling, very good to drive. But prices of these cars start from around £2,000, so you can't go wrong. Can you? Well, no, the Fiesta is generally reliable and trouble-free, plus it's cheap to run and to service. Then you have to choose 3 or 5 door, petrol or diesel. But make sure that the car that you want has got power steering on, because surprisingly for such a small car, it can be very heavy at parking speed, so power steering an absolute must. Then you have to choose the goodies that you want. Do you want alloy wheels, electric windows and mirrors, a sunroof, or perhaps even air conditioning, like this car has got on it? The Gear X is the best for the goodies, the Encore is the worst. Interior space on the Fiesta is just about okay, although it perhaps lacks the room that you'll find in a Renault Clio, but it is better than a Saxo or a Corsa. The boot space is adequate for a small car, and those rear seats fold flat for extra versatility. But the all-important question is price. Well, a 95 NReg 1.3 Encore with 60,000 miles will set you back around £2,000. The 1.25 Zetec engine, that will set you back a little more, £2,500 for an NReg. A 1.4 gear R-Reg should cost no more than £4,000, and the sporty Zetec S around £7,000. This car is a 1999 V-Reg 1.25 Zetec LX. It's done 22,000 miles, and this car could be yours for just under £4,000. Every time I get behind the wheel of one of these Fiestas, I think, great, it's a superb car to drive, it's sharp, it's responsive, and it's fun. And even though 1.25 engine only sounds very small, it's got 75 brake horsepower, so it's a good blend of performance and economy. It will do around 45 to the gallon, and that really makes you wonder why you would buy the diesel option in the Fiesta range, which only does about 50 to the gallon and is slower. So, what do you avoid in the Fiesta range? Well, make sure you don't buy the 1.3 litre model of this range, because it's slow, it's only got 59 brake horsepower, it returns the same economy as these 1.25 Zetec engines, and I don't honestly know why Ford still sell it as part of the range, but there we are. You could go for the 1.4 engine, that's got 90 brake horsepower, or if it's even more fun that you're after, go for the superb Zetec S, 110 brake horsepower, nearly as good as a 206 GTI. If it's diesel that you must have, then they have a 1.8 turbo diesel, which is pretty good too. On the used market, when looking for a small car, there's lots to choose from. You could go for the Clio, the Polo, the Punto, or the Peugeot 206, all very good cars. But the Fiesta has such a strong fan base, and although they may seem a bit overpriced when they were new, after 2 or 3 years, they make great buys as a used car. That's this week's One Careful Owner, the Ford Fiesta.